You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Pigskin Project YouTube channel. I am Matt Hartman, as you heard in the intro, and today we're going to be talking about the really real awards. You know, the really real ones. But I'm just joking. These are the fake awards that the three of us came up with. All three of us brought three new, unique, fake awards to the table, and we kind of just overall discussed and just had a good time with it. Frankly, you're going to see us have some fun discussions. Everything is pretty satirical. Don't take anything real serious. I'm sorry, Colts fans, in advance. But just overall, it was a really, really fun time to record these. And if you like seeing some of these, satirical kind of comedy, but with the NFL kind of involved videos, make sure you subscribe. And this was obviously recorded here on YouTube live. We do a live stream every single week, Wednesday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Come and check it out. Hang out, if you leave a comment, we'll always interact with it. So just stop by if you have the time of day. But overall, stick around, subscribe, and enjoy.
Yeah. All right. Really real awards. The really real ones. Those ones are really real. These ones, the real. These ones are fun. This was like the entire point of the podcast. This is what we've been really excited to put out, just because, I remember thinking of this and being like, guys, I don't know what you guys think about this, but I feel like it'd be fun if we created our own awards, put it out there, and just had some fun with it. You know what I mean? Sure, we do Weddle every once in a while for some fun, but this is the return of gridiron goofs. You know what I mean? So I cannot stress this enough. We have no idea what any of us did in terms of our awards. We could have along the same lines for the award. Now, I think for an example, I might have given one of mine away as far as what I was kind of looking for. But I have three of them. I think the other two.
I have a super duper nerd award that I think needs to go first, so we get rid of the super duper nerd award.
Wait, hold on. Are we doing 1-1-1? Or are we doing 3-3-3?
Yeah, let's do 1-1-1.
We're going 1-1-1.
Gotcha.
I also, for the record, I have candidates for all of mine that I'm going to reveal the winner. Oh, yes, let's go. No, like I said, none of this was coordinated at all. I love how all of you were on the same wavelength. That's awesome.
I know. Okay. This is great. And Matt, I think I know what your super duper nerd award is.
Yeah, we talked about the super duper nerd award because we're super duper nerds. Nice. Ryan's vibes. He's not nerd. He's like he's meathead for football. So This is super duper nerd award. All right, show me the money award. Since 2019, the free agent period, so before COVID, there has been an edge or defensive lineman, IDL, that has signed these three things in their contract: a multi-year deal, they make an annual salary that exceeds 7% of the cap, and they changed teams. So here's your super duper nerd. 2019 Trey Flowers did it. 2020 Dante Fowler did it. 2021 Bud Dupree did it. 2022 Von Miller to the Bills. Remember that? $120 million. Forgot about that one. 2023 Javon Hargrave did it. 2024 we had multiple. Christian Wilkins, Daniil Hunter did it. Jonathan Grenard did it. Bryce Huff just missed it, Ben. I was so sad for you. Ugh. And then 2025, Milton Williams just did it, and Josh Sweat just missed it. So Milton Williams kept it going. 2026, the salary cap projection by Spotrac is $307 million. A contract that would exceed 7% of that cap is $21.5. So I'm projecting, I didn't have a winner for this award. I just kind of threw it out. I was kind of just like, here's some names who I think could be an edge rusher who just has a ton of sacks, and someone pays him $21 million because they need someone to rush the passer. Just because there's going to be a ton of money. The Titans have a ton of money. The Chargers have a ton of money, and I believe one more team has a ton of money. So the teams, the players I had, Colts defensive end Kwity Paye. He's had 16.5 sacks the last 2 seasons. Jalen Phillips for the Dolphins. He's had 15.5 sacks in his first 2 seasons if he can have a healthy year. Ravens edge, Odafe Owe had 10 sacks last year. He's a contract year. Raiders edge, Malcolm Kuntz had 8 sacks 2023. He missed all of 2024 and kind of signed a 1-year prove-it deal with the Raiders. He's a guy who could pop. Seahawks edge, Boye Mafe has 18 sacks in 3 years. What if he pops? And then lastly, my favorite one, Ravens interior defensive lineman Travis Jones. One of the quietly best run defenders in football, by the way. Threw that one out. But those are the Show Me the Money Award is one of those guys I project is going to be a guy who we're talking about Milton Williams going, where did he come from? And you can come back to the Pigskin Project and go, I knew Kwity Paye was going to make that much money because we talked about it. So this is, again, the Super Duper Nerd Award. We're done with that. Let's move on.
Yep. This is the Meathead Awards now.
But it was fun. I loved doing this. That was my favorite award because I put so much effort into it. It took me over multiple hours, and then I had to find candidates that I actually liked and think can do it. So again, it's what I do for this podcast.
Ben, you can go next.
Yeah. I'll start with my first award. I mean, it's going to be quite the shift again from the Super Duper Nerd Award. It's the Dave Chappelle Why, because F 'em, that's why award. This award goes to the team that I'm going to not necessarily hate watch, but just not gonna watch super intently and gonna kind of root against for no particular reason. And that's kind of the key factor within that. There's not a reason as to why I can't say the Commanders, I can't say the Cowboys, can't say that stuff. There can't be a reason behind. I just don't want to. If you look back to the Cardinals from a couple years ago, that's a perfect example for this team for me. And for me, it's between the Falcons, the Rams, and the Steelers. I did almost go with the Rams. They were the runner-up here, but I felt like that might have been a cop-out because the Eagles and Rams now currently have a bit of a rivalry. The winner of the Dave Chappelle Why, F 'em, because that's why award, the Falcons. I don't know what it is about the Falcons. I just am not going to have fun watching them. And something in me just don't want to root for them. I just don't.
Bad vibes.
Again, bad vibes. I can't tell you why. That's the whole point of the award. But it's the Falcons. I don't want to root for them this year.
So my first award, it's called the Calvin Ridley
Can we
Parlay
have a
Buster
winner
Award.
with if you guys because I have a team kind of matching Ben's a little bit here.
Yes.
What's that?
The Colts.
Yeah. Did you guys see that pretzel, by the way? That was awesome.
I don't
Pretzel they put out.
I don't know.
That's their season.
I don't know why. I like Anthony Richardson. It's just I'm done with them. If that's a word, Anthony Richardson is a nominee for another award, so that'll give it away once I read it. But the Colts are kind of that team this year for me, where I'm I don't care about you at all.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of your Falcons. They have good players. Yep. Bijan and London are awesome, but it's I just don't care about you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe that's wrong. I think the defense.
So, yeah, my first award, the Calvin Ridley Parlay Buster Award. This goes to the player I'm most likely going to lose the most amount of parlays on because I threw them in, and this happens all the time.
He really bet on games like Mateer did.
So, the candidates are as follows: Brock Bowers, receiving yards, 75 plus. I put in parentheses. Bucky Irving, rushing yards, 50 plus. Roma Dunze, receiving yards, 45 plus. JJ McCarthy, passing yards for the under. And in parentheses, I put no matter what. The winner, all of the above. I'm going to bet on all of these, and they're all going to screw me over at some point. This is the only award that I anticipate having absolutely no indefinite winner. Brock Bowers, I feel probably the most confident on.
Same.
Bucky Irving, I feel like is such an up and down running back. He's good, don't get me wrong, but he also shares a running back room with Rashad White. And it's like, who knows what's going to happen with that one and who's going to get the most amount of carries. Rome Odunze, you play on the Bears. The Bears let me down all the time. I don't need to go into detail there. JJ McCarthy, I'm betting on your under because it's a hate watch this season, and I hope that you fail because I'm a Bears fan. That's really it.
Jeez.
So, yeah. Anyways, Matt, your next award.
Do you have like a touchdown one for that, or is that the only like betting?
I thought about it because Ben and I were literally just talking about how much fun it is to put together touchdown parlays, just as much as it is home run. But
I have
I
a
didn't do
guy. I'm gonna like Chuba Hubbard. I'm gonna lose so much money betting his touchdowns this year.
Mine's CMC, and it's for one reason.
Oh, you're doubling back?
This would have been 3 years ago now at this point. This was when he went on like that crazy run where he like was scoring a touchdown every game.
He was minus 200.
And I had never bet on it, and I'm like freshly 21 at this point, and I'm like, CMC, let's add him to the parlay. And the one game I choose to bet on CMC is the game that record gets broke, or like he no longer scores a touchdown, and I've never forgiven him since.
I had similar one to Montgomery. Montgomery in one of those games, like, do you remember the game? I think it was the playoff game against the Bucks. He got subbed out for Craig Reynolds, and it was supposed to be Montgomery on the field. Like, and in that game, I had like 2 other legs that hit, and I was like, oh man, they gave it to Craig Reynolds, womp womp. And then like Dan Campbell's like, yeah, Montgomery was supposed to be in the game.
If I were to throw one out there as far as like the bets that I've lost, from previous seasons, Puka, what do you mean you played in 11 games and scored only 3 touchdowns? Why did you hate me so much? I had you in touchdown parlays. You know it. I know you know it. The other one that I would say, Marvin Harrison Jr., dude, what the heck? I mean, 17 games, 885 yards, 8 touchdowns. You busted so many of my parlays. It wasn't even funny last season. Yeah, let's see. Trey McBride only scored 2 touchdowns last year. Travis Kelce.
SpongeBob meme.
Travis Kelce, like, okay, cool.
Kelce
yeah. So you just suck now.
Way.
And George Kittle, I love that guy so much. He's such a lovable guy, but it seemed like every time I bet on him, he didn't score a touchdown. But you bet your bottom dollar that he went ahead and scored a touchdown every time I didn't. Matt, let's move on here. We're an hour and a half in. Let's do it.
Which one should I do? I'll do this one. I'll do the first one that, like, once you said this, I didn't do any research on this, but I called it the Walking Dead Award. These are 3 people that are just like, why are they even around the program? why are they even doing their jobs? Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson is number 1. Giants head coach Brian Dable, and Dolphins GM Chris Greer. I tried to spread the wealth. Let's not do 3 head coaches. Let's not do 3 quarterbacks or 3 GMs. Let's one of each. My winner is Brian Dable, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why that guy got another offseason. And maybe this is bad because it's like, well, preseason week 1 just happened. Jackson Dart was awesome, dude. But, like, I don't get why he got to pick a quarterback in the back end of round 1. Why they, like, and even, like, lumping Joe Shane into this, I guess. Like, I don't get why both of them were able to, like, spend a ton of money on Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo and just overall make these decisions that is just going to get in the way of who the next guy is. You know why? Because John Mara in January was like, yeah, the clock's ticking, guys. And I don't think they're going to be any better this year because they have Russell Wilson starting at quarterback. So, yeah, Brian Dable, you're walking dead, buddy. So I think that's a guy that is not going to be with the program next year. So
no, I like it. Award number 2 for me is the Kyle Pitts Breakout Season Award. This goes to the player that everyone is hyping up and is talking about to have a breakout year, but Torrey Horton, but never actually gets around to doing that. We have 3 candidates. We got Justin Fields, we got Dallas Turner, and we got Rome Odunze.
Say that again. Say the second one again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dallas Turner?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's his second year.
Justin Fields, Dallas Turner, and Rome Odunze. They're just breakout players. I'm not saying these are players that people are expecting.
Year guys.
These are players that people are expecting to have breakout years that I think may or may not. The winner of this award, sorry in advance, Rome Odunze. And there's a reason for it being Rome Odunze. All right?
I was prepping myself for this.
Yeah, you did take him in the first round, obviously. But who is your play caller? It's Ben Johnson. He loves his tight end. You took another pass catcher high in the draft this past year. So Colson Loveland is going to get a lot of those targets, just as Sam Laporta did. You have DJ Moore, and then you just took Luther Burden in this past draft class early on in the second round. Now, I don't think Rome Odunze is going to be a bad player. I cannot specify that enough. But I don't think he's going to be this 1,000-yard receiver or close to 1,000-yard wide receiver that Bears fans are trying to tote.
He was at 734 last year.
Yeah.
So
I believe he finished second,
and that's why he's in this, and that's exactly why he's in this category. People want him to be this breakout player. He's going to get 1,000 yards, but again, they invested into more pass catchers, and we've seen it. The proof is in the pudding. Ben Johnson loves to get his tight ends involved. Colson Loveland's here now. So, again, I'm sorry. I think Rome is going to be fine. It is nothing against Rome. It has a lot more to do with the offense that he's actually playing. So, Rome Odunze, you win Kyle Pitts Breakout Player of the Year award. And the guy that, almost got that was Zay Flowers. But I digress.
He wasn't on the ballot.
I know.
Yeah.
Pro Bowler Zay Flowers?
It's funny that was yours, because I have the opposite award for my number 2.
For breakout?
Mine is called the Geno Smith They Wrote Me Off, I Ain't Right Back award for the player I anticipate to explode. The candidates: Keenan Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, and Bryce Young. The winner's Bryce Young, guys.
Oh, God.
The winner's Bryce
I knew
Young.
it.
I'm buying in. The vibes are high.
Vibes.
The vibes are high. It could have been worse. I could have picked Keenan Allen. Let's be honest. But
you were never going to pick Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Bryce Young.
Never going to be an option.
They invested in pass catchers for him, and that's my offensive, rookie of the year right there. And you can't do it without the quarterback, and it's not going to be Andy Dalton. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be fun. You've got Kyler 2.0, in my opinion. Congratulations, Carolina. You didn't necessarily lose that bad, but you lost that trade. Matt?
Oof.
If he's Kyler at this point in his career, that's like
success.
That's a stunning success. I think I'd do victory laps as a Panthers fan if he became close to Kyler with how bad he was. But hey, those 7 weeks were great, guys. I know, Panthers fans, bring it on. But let's get into my final award, the Fantasy Football Sicko Award. The Sicko Award.
Yes.
I have to find this. So, since 2020, there have been at least one skill position rookie, running back, or receiver drafted during day 3 or UDFA to achieve 1,000 yards from scrimmage in that rookie season. 2020, James Robinson for the Jaguars did it. Elijah Mitchell did it in 2021 for the Niners. Tyler Algier did it in 2022 for the Falcons. Puka Nacua did it in 2023 for the Rams. And last year we had two guys, Bucky Irving, Tyrone Tracy, and even 2018 we had Philip Lindsay do it as a UDFA. Darius Slayton was the highest in 2019 at 740, so he kind of broke the trend. But if I'm following that same run of a skill position player getting 1,000 yards from scrimmage, let's predict some day 3 rookies in good situations that you would want to stash in fantasy. My nominees, and then I'll reveal the winner. Niners running back Jordan James. Originally my winner, then I learned he had an injury. So, took him off. The big receiver names, KLS with the Chargers, Torrey Horton with the Seahawks. Those guys are big names. Those guys were both drafted day 3. Uh-oh. Commanders running back, Bill Krosky Merritt. He's Bill now. It's great. So he was on here, 7th rounder, but barely played at Arizona. I think he got hurt pretty early. So he's kind of under the radar. They think they got a steal there, and his room is Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. They didn't get past those guys. Browns running back Dylan Sampson had to be on here because there's a world where Judkins just doesn't play, and the only guy in his path is Jerome Ford. So I think Sampson needs to be on here. And then one of my guys, Bengals running back Taj Brooks. What if? That'd be awesome.
Before you say the winner, can I throw in an honorable mention?
Yeah, throw in an honorable mention.
Kyle Mononga was really fun to watch on Sunday.
I knew.
How rich?
I knew. How original. Bears fan picks the Bears player.
Well, the reason I say that is because for those who are not following Ryan was kind of like the leader of the reverse hype train for him because Bears fans were so excited for him.
I did not hate on him. I just said temper the expectations because he's a 7th round pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I do have a ghost nominee.
Do you have a shout out
too? I do have a shout out. Yeah, Dante Thornton.
Okay.
He's been
I was nervous.
lot of love coming out of Raiders training camp. And Dante Thornton was a guy I obviously loved a lot too. But yeah, he's a guy that has been getting a lot of love. So
he did not make this list because he is obviously 4th in the pecking order. Jacoby Myers at receiver and Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. He's just too low in the pecking order. Yeah. I wanted a running back, but I was nervous you were going to pick my guy. Because go blue. Khalil Mullings is my guy to win this award because Tajay Spears just got a high ankle sprain. His only competition is Tony Pollard, who premieres kind of as a featured back more than a lead back. I understand that he was really, really good last year and he stayed healthy, but over the course of his career, he hasn't stayed healthy too much. He had the 8th most carries in football last year. He had 252 with Dallas the year before. So, again, getting into it, if Tajay Spears is already out, and Tajay Spears is nowhere stylistically to Khalil Mullings, and Pollard is not really stylistically comparable to Khalil Mullings, they need someone to run between the tackles with their new guards and tackles they signed, and Cushenberry's already there at center who's really good. So, and with Callahan, he's an under center guy. So they're going to do a lot of bootleg off-play action stuff. You look at what Jake Browning did a few years ago with the Bengals. They did a lot of under center stuff because, Burrow doesn't like doing that. But it's also something that Callahan likes to run. So I went with Mullings just because I think the combination of the path to starting time while also being in a featured role offensively is just better than everybody else to get to 1,000 yards. And you look at the guys last year, Tyrone Chasey didn't play in a game in his he didn't play week 1 last year. So it's I think a lot of people would see that and be like, well, week 1 happened. Khalil Mullings didn't play. Haha. But sometimes they kind of come on in week 4 and all of a sudden Khalil Mullings has 18 carries for 89 yards because everybody else is hurt. And from that point on, they just kind of give him the rock. So, again, that was kind of my fantasy sicko award because there continues to be a trend, and I want to kind of find the guy who continues the trend. So, that was my final really real award. So,
my final really real award is the Nick Sirianni "This Guy Needs to Be Fired" award. This goes to the head coach that is on a hot seat and does not start out very well, but then ends up finishing the season just fine. Obviously, I'm not going to say wins the Super Bowl because that would be wild, but is in a situation which fans are clamoring about. This guy needs to be gone. He needs to leave, and then come end of season, they're like, "Oh, he's pretty fine, and he can stay." The nominees for this award are Zach Taylor, one already mentioned Brian Dabble, and then Jonathan Gannon. And the winner goes to a Nick Sirianni disciple in Jonathan Gannon.
what?
Whoa!
They won 9 games last year, dude.
Whoa!
What are we doing?
Whoa!
They were top 10 in EBA per play on offense
That's
last year,
fine.
dude.
And what were Eagles fans like? They were just fine. The Eagles made the playoffs and had a very, very good stretch the year prior to that. And come week 3, Eagles fans were like, "This guy blows."
You're comparing Eagles fans to the Cardinals
fired.
fans?
Again, but
They're
he is a
thrilled to
guy
win
on-
10 games.
No, stop.
They
Ask Cardinals
overachieved
fans.
last year.
They want Cardinals fans are not particularly happy with the way that he had finished the season.
Why?
Jonathan Gannon. So, but Jonathan Gannon gets it. I think they're going to start off a little slow, and they're going to be like, here it is. It's time for him to go. He hasn't been able to really put together a playoff team. And then as
They were 9-8.
As
right
the season
there.
starts, exactly. And they're going to be fed up with the fact that he is not able to
Wow.
improve this year. And then he's going to actually be able to improve, and it's going to
You
be
just can't get over the ready to shoot some lasers or whatever he said to Kyler. You just can't get
that
over
was
that.
fantastic.
Can
That was absolutely fantastic. So, but no, Jonathan Gannon. I think he's going to shock some people. Do we have any feelers?
They won 8
saying
games
we have
last year.
feelers?
I just yelled about 9 wins. They won 8 games last year, but what I said was true. They were top 10 in EPA per play on offense last year, and I know he's not an offensive guy, but their defense is bound to be better just because of the sheer amount of talent that they spend on. So,
Well, that's
I
why
couldn't
I'm saying
disagree
when they start
more.
out slow, it's going to be
gonna
just
fire
fine.
mid-season?
Dude, they won. So in the final, what is this? From week 12 on, it was a loss, a win, a loss, and then a win. They were sour through the last stretch of the season. Ask Cardinals fans, because they were pumped. They said this is going to be our
Cardinals
year in which
fans,
we finally make the
answer in the
playoffs.
comments. Are you pissed at
Five of
Jonathan
the five
Gannon?
of
Yes
you.
or no?
But there was serious, like, fans were upset with the fact that they went on that crazy 4-win streak against the Chargers, Miami, Chicago, and New York, and they go into the bye and they were happy. And then week 12 on, that team fell apart.
Known powerhouses, the Bears and the Jets.
Exactly. But the team fell apart the final 6 weeks of the season or 7 weeks of the season there. They were not happy. Jonathan Gannon is going to start out slow. The season's going to go along, and they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be nice and happy about it. So,
Last really real award that we have of the night of the off season. The Ryan Leaf, remember that guy? Award. This goes to the player that I anticipate to be irrelevant following what happens in 2025 and beyond. So, your candidates are as follows: Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson, or Russell Wilson. Drum roll, please.
Russell Wilson's the greatest quarterback of a franchise. We're not doing.
I was going to say.
It's Anthony Richardson.
Anyway.
It's Anthony Richardson.
I knew
Over
that,
and over again. Yeah, this is listen, Matt already said it. I mean, it's almost like a hate watch for him. I don't like the Colts. I just don't. I don't like him. I don't like him as a quarterback right now, and
Like him.
I just don't. No, the vibes are bad. No, I think Daniel Jones is going to do just fine in Indy. If I'm honest, he's not going to give that starting spot up. It's going to be Daniel Jones all the way through the season, and I think he'll do just fine. Finish like 7-10 for the Colts or whatever, and move on from there. And it's going to be an interesting situation to see what they do next season. But hey, Colts fans, I feel really bad for you, man. That's like the carousel that they've had to go through.
I don't. They went from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck. No.
Well, that's fine. That's
No.
fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm just saying, like, this is a rough stretch.
Why do we have to
man.
feel bad for everybody all the time? Like, I don't. I just don't. Like, I
bad guy Matt over here, dude. Jeez, he turned
like
into the
no. And like this is like to the tune of like the Panthers, or it's like, oh man, the Panthers. Oh, it sucks. Like, you guys had Cam Newton and you went 15-1 that year and made the Super Bowl with Cam Newton. That had to be the most awesome experience of all time. The only fan base I feel bad for is the Cowboys, frankly, because I think they're in it. Their owner's never going to change because he's already in the Hall of Fame and will never pay anybody on time or make smart football decisions because, again, he's already in the Hall of Fame for football. So why should he care?
Matt now.
But yeah, like, I don't think the Colts are in a like spot to be like, oh, I feel bad for them. I don't. I just don't.
I mean,
This is a fun episode.
I do. Yeah.
Why?
Anyways,
Why?
Dude.
Explain.
Dude,
all
okay,
of it. All of it. Every, because again, it started out fun.
Ryan, I've seen you talk about
Ryan,
quarterbacks for the Bears. You'd kill somebody to have Andrew Luck play a season.
You'd kill
Oh,
someone to have Russell Wilson to play for a season.
I mean, okay, just looking overall, because I have to figure out it just off the top of the dome. Okay.
I think they're in a weird quarterback carousel, but like, who isn't?
I mean, Jacoby Brissett in 2019. Let's see, Phillip Rivers in
I think
20,
the luck
Carson
thing
Wentz
is,
in
like,
21, Matt Ryan, Sam Ellinger, Nick Foles in 22, Anthony Richardson and Gardner Minshew in 23, Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson in 24, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson in 25. Like, dude, they have like.
I'll also say this.
It's been almost 10 years.
Part of my hate. No, that's half of a decade. So no, but it's closer
no,
to 5 and 10. But
what are you talking about? Since Andrew Luck, he retired in 2018.
Yeah, it was 2019. 2019, yeah.
2018.
He retired this time in 2019 during the preseason 2019. I remember it happening. He played against the Bears, but no, the reason I don't feel bad is because of that. Because they booed him off the field. They booed him off the field because the guy like legitimately like couldn't play football because he didn't have the mental capability anymore and wanted it to like. And then Adam Schefter, that little troll, had to be the first, like, again, like, oh, I have to get the scoop. I got the scoop on Andrew Luck. Like, I hated that. I hated that whole thing. Like,
yeah.
But overall, like,
if
you feel bad for him, feel
episode.
bad.
Fun episode, though. This is, I hope that we can continue this next year. Honestly, if we remember to do it, let's do it, because that one was a good idea.
Hope you enjoyed that video, everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe, and right before you leave, make sure every Wednesday, live, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, everything you just saw in that video was recorded live, and you could see it first before everybody else. So make sure you stop by. Would love to interact with your comments, so just keep that in mind, and have a great rest of your day.